Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy holidays. I'm the gnome, and this is the Weekly Pint. If I can find the button, there it is. Welcome back. This is the show that is not a show. It's a happy hour, and when you've got the night before Christmas, that sounds like a really good reason to hang out with friends and have something to drink, to belly up to the virtual bar, as I've taken to calling it. Actually, I don't know if I've ever called it that other than today in the show description, but it sounds appropriate because this is like, it's kind of like pretending that we're hanging out together at a bar, having something to drink, when really we're doing it over the internet, which is fine. It started during COVID. For anybody that's new to this show, we weren't allowed to go anywhere. There was nowhere to go. So we were all sitting at home drinking by ourselves and decided that it would be fun to drink together virtually. Virtual happy hours is what they called them for any of the kids that don't remember that. And we did that. And it just never stopped. We kept hanging out on Monday nights, kicking off the week with a drink in hand. With that being said, look, if you're listening to this later via the video or the podcast feed or whatever, you can still have a drink with us, but you can't really interact in the same way. If you happen to be hanging out live, though, please crack something open. It doesn't have to be a beer. It can be a cocktail. You can just take a big old swig of some peppermint schnapps. It doesn't even have to be good peppermint schnapps. You can drink the crappy stuff and nobody will judge you because that's the kind of stuff we do on the show. But tell us what it is that you are drinking. Maybe it's just an iced tea. Maybe you've been heavily drinking all day and you just want to drink some tea. That's okay too. But tell us what you cracked open with us. And I will do the same here in just a second. Marco is drinking a Thunder Snow. Perfect. Well, it's not really a perfect day for it. Perfect season for it. I'm a little disappointed that we don't have a white Christmas. It's sad. I have a theory on why that happens, and I've been drilling it into my kids' heads since they were very young, that if you, number one, if you decorate your Christmas too early, if you do it before Thanksgiving, and if too many people do it, it ruins Christmas spirit, and we will not get a white Christmas. Number two, if you don't have enough Christmas spirit, you won't get a white Christmas. So somebody somewhere has done something wrong this year, decorated too early, or just didn't have enough spirit, and we don't get our white Christmas. But I guess there's still a chance. Maybe there'll be some kind of freak weather thing that happens. Whatever. It doesn't feel like Christmas when it's warm outside. Let's see. Julia says Josh is bringing up today's beer event beer and something for him to drink. Josh is having a Truth Bomb. I still have not tried Truth Bomb, and it is killing me. I should have grabbed it while I was at the store today, and I didn't even think about it. Wes is drinking a Miller Lite, says keeping it local. I don't think a lot of people realize that Miller Lite is a very local beer. There's lots of Miller products, in fact, that are local beers because there is a massive Miller brewery up in Trenton, which is here in Butler County where I live, and they're cranking out a bunch of great beer up there, or a bunch of beer up there, I should say. It's fine. We don't judge. In fact, I have two things that I'm going to drink tonight because it's a holiday, and I think I should drink two things, and maybe even some peppermint schnapps. We refilled the stockpile of peppermint schnapps, and I'm now keeping a bottle here in the studio all winter long. To heck with having just a bottle behind the bar, a bottle upstairs. We're keeping one in the studio because I can't be drinking any more of that Thunder 101 crap. I'm not doing it. But I do have two things. Number one is my beer event beer. You guys, I think I could show you that one. This is from Esoteric Brewing. This is Pfeffernuss. When I first heard that it was Pfeffernuss, I'm going to be honest, I had no idea what a Pfeffernuss cookie was. Once I pulled up a picture, I'm like, oh yeah, those things. I love those cookies. Today is National Pfeffernuss Days. We'll talk about all that when I do drink this. That's our first option. Second option is a Christmas gift from Julia and Josh. I have been wanting to get my hands on this. I'm a little bit nervous about what it's going to taste like. I love Urban Artifacts pickle beer, and it started its life as Christmas pickle, so I thought maybe this was kind of Christmas appropriate. This is from Spritz Society. This is a dill pickle spritz. So this is wine-based. It's a wine pickle cocktail spritz. I don't know. It's a collaboration with Clausen, though, who makes great pickles. So this might be good. It literally says pickle flavored carbonated wine with other natural flavors. 6%. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Those are my two options. I'm going to drink them both, but you guys tell me where I should go first. Do I go pickle first or do I go pfeffernuss first? Because I don't know which way is better. I sometimes I feel the same way about Urban Artifacts pickle. I'll see it sitting there in my fridge and I think about it and I'm like, man, I don't know that I'm in the mood for a pickle drink right now. But every time I crack one of theirs open, I just remember how much I love it. So I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. Julia says start pickle because I'll like the pfeffer one. Marco agrees pickle. All right, we'll go pickle. I also, so when I grab this, I'll let you guys look at it here while I tell you. When I grabbed this out of the fridge, I wasn't really sure what the proper vessel to drink a pickle spritz out of was. I still don't know what the proper vessel to drink a pickle spritz out of is. So I just grabbed what seemed the most appropriate, and that is like your stereotypical cocktail glass. Oh, shit. It just broke. I just broke my cocktail glass. This will not work. Damn. This is the drinking gods telling me not to ingest pickle spritz. Well, that's one more glass that I don't have to store under my bar. Holy crap. Now there's going to be tiny shards of glass everywhere. Man. Okay. Well, you know what makes pickle taste even worse? Pickles and glass. Oh, man. I am going to get a tiny piece of glass stuck in my arm tonight. I know it. Merry Christmas. You're going to be in pain. All right. We'll just gently set that there. It's all right. I have backup glassware. It's not nearly as exciting, but we'll drink it out of a little tiny rocks glass instead. It's probably more appropriate anyways. It's not as funny, but all right. Let's crack this thing open. We'll see. Marco says someone get that guy a wet towel. Yeah, there's nobody else to do anything. All I hear upstairs is yelling and now barking because there's a dog and thumping around like there's some kind of battle happening, which there probably is. He really likes to take socks from people. All right, so it looks like wine. Looks kind of like white wine. Not really that exciting to look at, is it? All right, let me read the can before we dive into this. Oh my God, this has me terrified now. Okay, Spritz Society, Clausen. Introducing Spritz Society's Pickle by Clausen, a first-of-its-kind innovation. What happens when you take a 150-year-old pickle brand and combine it with an award-winning sparkling wine cocktail? So you get a one-of-a-kind pickle spritz that's zippy, refreshing, and ready to drink. It says it's award-winning. It doesn't tell me what award, but it does win some kind of an award. It's made with real wine and real flavors. Good. It's those real flavors. And it gives me lots of government warnings, ingredients. That's interesting. Okay, so we have sparkling water, white wine, natural flavors, cane sugar, citric acid, malic acid, fruit, and vegetable juice. But okay. Somebody who is in some kind of role that they produce things hopefully can answer this question for me. So I read the ingredients, and two of those ingredients, one of them is white wine, which okay, that's wine. There is fruit and vegetable juice. And then up on top, it says that it contains 0% juice. There's no juice, but it contains juice. It does say juice with color in parentheses. So they use the juice for color, but it doesn't have any juice in it. How in the world does any of this make sense. I don't know. All right. Please drink responsibly. Wine product. Okay. I will be responsible. Okay, yeah, it said looks like wine. All right, it doesn't smell bad. It smells like briny wine. Maybe pickle juice isn't juice. It says the ingredients say fruit and vegetable juice, and then it says contains 0% juice. I don't understand. The dog is going nuts. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I have no idea. Wes says that celery juice is a preservative. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if somebody just put this in front of me and said, "What is this?" I don't know that I would pick out pickle. Maybe. All right. Here's the real test. I'm gonna dive in. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you know what? That is not bad. I don't like the way it finishes. There's definitely like a weird wine thing going on there, but yeah, it's not as salty as I was expecting by what I was smelling. You know what? This was pretty good. I feel like if instead of it being a wine base, if you just went straight seltzer, like a nice clean like vodka seltzer, this would be really good. That's weird. There's definitely something weird going on there. The wine. I know what it is. I tell you what, it is not bad. Spritz Society did a pretty good job with this. It's strange, but I mean, strange things are also fun. I think we should always be pushing some kind of boundary like that. Shout out to Josh and Julia for providing me with this because I kind of like it. For anybody that does not know, pickle beer is an invention of Urban Artifact. I wrote an article. God, when did I put that out? I don't know. Was it this year? I think it was this year. Trying to trace the origins of the first place that made a pickle beer. And there were a lot of places that have made pickle beers, and there were a lot of places that made them pretty close together there at the very beginning. But the best that I could tell, Urban Artifact was the was the first. And Julia says one of us had to buy it eventually. Yeah. I don't know that this is one of those products that I would ever seek out again. If I saw it at the store and it was like marked down and it was like, I don't know, $1.99 for a 4-pack or something, I would probably drink it again. But it's just not as good as other pickle drink products. Oh, I keep finding more pieces of glass now. Oh, this is so terrible. Just got to burn the desk. The whole desk. Burn it. Rod says, I do believe Urban Artifact was the first as well. It was definitely close. And there were some other like pickle-like things that people were doing. Like there was definitely a cucumber beer, a cucumber goza, in fact, I believe, that was pretty close to being a pickle beer, but it didn't have dill, and so it wasn't a pickle beer. That one definitely predated Urban. That was from somebody, where were they? Like up East Coast somewhere. I can't remember. Julia says my original pickle beer post was posted on August 7th of this year. Thank you very much, Julia. Link in the show notes, maybe. You know it's not going to end up there because I'm going to be drinking too much of this pickle wine to remember. Oh, it's just so weird. If God, it's the wine. I don't like the wine. It kind of it starts off with like this really like fresh, briny pickle aroma, like a real like fresh kind of florally dill thing that is really really good. And then it just gets this big kind of sharp wine thing that just comes and smacks it, and I'm like, oh, it's not what I wanted to come in after that. I think that's what I really enjoy about Urban Artifacts so much is everything works as a pickle, the whole thing, and you get all these different pieces of pickles that all kind of come together. Then, oh man, I was gonna sit here and finish the whole thing. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I'll finish it in a little bit. I want to get to this Pfeffernuss. Oh man, so the only real topic that I've got today, I mean, there are some other things I guess we could cover, is Christmas. We are in the middle of Christmas joy in my household. Hopefully in yours too. Hang on, let me see if I can pull up some notes here. Did I have anything else I desperately wanted to talk about? Not particularly. I did want to mention Madry, Parks and Rec, and their grand opening is coming up in February. We'll talk about it way more in depth as we get closer. But they posted a couple pictures, some sneak peek stuff of the actual tap room and kind of where it's at right now, and pictures of the big tree that's behind the bar. They have kind of in the middle of the bar behind it this big kind of artificial tree that's growing up. It's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful, and they have like a camper inside the tap room and all kinds of just really leaning hard into kind of the outdoorsy side of the Madtree brand, and I think that's something that for a long time was missing from the brand. So I'm excited to see that. The tap room is going to be amazing, especially in the summertime. I have a theory that I've probably shared with everybody at this point, but I firmly believe that Madtree Parks and Rec will become the biggest Madtree tap room. I think it's going to outpace what Oakley is doing for a lot of different reasons, but the biggest one to me is every complaint that I ever hear about Oakley is that people don't like going there and being surrounded by people's kids and dogs. And now, don't get me wrong, I believe that the Blue Ash will have more kids and more dogs that go to it. But the biggest difference is that it sits in the middle of that park. And I think most of the people with kids and most of the people with dogs will bring them to the tap room, and they'll walk up to the window that's on the patio, and they'll get their beer and their food, and then they will go and they will walk right out to the park, and they will go sit out there, and they'll eat and they'll drink and they'll play in the park, walk around maybe. You won't get as many people that just sit in the tap room. When their beer's empty, then they just walk back over to the tap room and repeat. And so I think the tap room itself won't feel as busy, but it will do more business, in my opinion. And I don't know how long that'll take for that to hit, but I think it'll get there. Just theorizing. And you can quote me on it and tell me that I was wrong. Or be like, oh, yeah, I remember when you said that. You were right. All right, one more swig of this pickle wine, and then we'll get to a beer, a proper beer. Oh. God, that's so weird. So strange. And I guess it is kind of their thing. They do make strange spritzes. Julia says red, white, and blue ash will be the big test. Yes. Rod says kids and dogs at breweries has been an interesting topic over the last few months, it seems. It's been an interesting topic over the last few years. There is a growing number of people that don't want to see it at all. There is a large segment of people that when they were in craft beer, when they got into craft beer, they were young, and now they're not. And now they've got families, and they've got kids, and they've got dogs, and they still want to go to their breweries. I think there's a place for all of it. I get both sides. There are definitely times where I want to go to a brewery with my kids and my wife, and when the dog gets older, he'll probably come with us to some and hang out. And there are times that's exactly what I want my experience to be, and I'm expecting that around me, and I don't care that it's around me. There are plenty of other times where maybe I'm going out with my wife and we want to go for a date night or something. We want to grab a dinner and sit at a brewery and eat it. And I don't necessarily want other people's kids around me because I just got away from mine. And so I get that. And then there are times where maybe I want to go sit there and I want to watch a game and I don't want to think about my language and things like that. And I think that there's a place for that. And I think that as things kind of keep growing and evolving and changing, there should be spaces for every experience that you're looking for. If you're looking for some place that really is kind of a sports bar, but it's a brewery, that should exist within a community. And if you want a family-friendly place with a beer garden and, dogs running around and kids running around and laughter and, all that kind of stuff, there should be a place for that in a community. There should be all these different personalities that exist within it. I don't think any one place should cater to all of that. And I don't think you can. We'll see. Speaking of Mad Tree, we're going to go ahead and drink this one out of a Mad Tree glass because it was sitting over there. Eric says, my visit to 16 Lots was spoiled by a princess party. Squealing, running 4-year-olds were not on my bingo cards. I get it. And I don't know, and 16 Lots to me, and I don't know which location you were talking about, but to me, both of those locations do not that they're not family friendly, they don't seem like the type of tap room that I would go to and expect to see a bunch of kids running around in princess parties and stuff. That's not the impression that I would be expecting, Christine is looking for a bag of Dick's and smoothie sours. I'm fully stocked on Dick's potato chips right now. They were back in stock at Jungle Gyms, so I've been stocking up. I'm fully stocked on everything. Going back to the Christmas discussion, Santa comes to my house on the morning of the 23rd because we're headed to families' houses and spending the night somewhere tomorrow night. It's a whole thing. So he's very generous, and he comes to our house today. So we did all of our gift exchanging this morning. So I am fully stocked on all kinds of fun stuff. My family knows me very well and got me a lot of tubular meat. I got a bunch of I have some good sausage in there, some charcuterie, and I got a bunch of really fancy Slim Jims is what I call them, smoked sausage sticks, and this big giant bundle of them. So I'm well stocked right now. Okay, this is esoteric Pfeffernuss. It is a holiday brown ale, and today, like I mentioned before, is National Pfeffernuss Day. If you didn't know that, I'm going to read a little thing I found on nationaldaycalendar.com. Shout out to National Day Calendar. They are the go-to place to tell you what day it is every day. December 23rd is reserved for National Pfeffernuss Day. It is a German spice cookie. If you look it up, if you Google it and see the little picture of them, you'll immediately recognize what the cookie is. They're very popular around the holidays. Pfeffernuss are fluffy cookies made with ground nuts and spices and covered in powdered sugar. Yeah, that's what else do you need other than some kind of tubular meat? The exact origin of the cookie is unknown. However, the Dutch believe that Pfeffernuss, or peppernoten in Dutch, are linked to the feast of Sinterklaas, which is celebrated on December 5th in the Netherlands and December 6th in Germany and Belgium. The holidays when children receive gifts from St. Nicholas, who is partially the inspiration for the Santa Claus tradition. Or you get taken away by Krampus. And I believe you can bribe Krampus with a Pfeffernuss. I believe. I could be wrong. Let's see. I wish it had a bigger, fluffier, bright white head on it. I know that you probably can't really make that happen with a brown ale, but that's kind of what I wish this was looking. I wish it looked like the cookie. Let's see. It says this is crafted for Higher Gravity's beer event. Box The holiday-inspired brown ale delivers cozy flavors of cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger, echoing the essence of Pfeffernuss cookies. 12 ounces, 5.3% ABV. And then I've never really paid a lot of attention to Esoteric's cans, but they've got this really great, at the bottom of the can here, you can't really read it on the screen, I'm guessing, but this little section here, it says contains, and they break it down, all the things, all of the allergens that are in here, or just all the things, so ingredient list, basically. They tell you it's got cinnamon, nutmeg, black pepper, cardamom, ginger, brown sugar, allspice, star anise, and clove. So it's just a really great little list of what is in here, just so you know. It doesn't tell you that you're going to necessarily get all those flavors, but maybe you might. Let's see what I get. So it is definitely brown. It is way darker when you're looking at it than it is when I'm looking through it into the light here. It is definitely a little bit lighter than it looks on the camera, but kind of a it's got a little bit of a like a ruby kind of color to it, but it's like chestnutty brown, and not a huge head on it, but big enough that I'm fine with it. Oh, let's see. Christine, she loves. Let's see. Julia says, "I love finding dicks when I go to a brewery." Christine says, "I'm glad Santa's come early for you guys. Can never go wrong with salty dicks. Salty dicks are still." They might be my favorite. The hot dicks are where I lean, but Christine says, bold of you to assume I know how to spell Pfeffernuss. You have to have the can in front of you. I'm assuming you did not get a calendar then, because it is right on here. Pfeffernuss. Can't even get it in one shot. Pfeffernuss. You can figure it out. Brad says, a.k.a. Russian wedding cake balls. Maybe. I don't know. I've never heard them called Russian wedding cake balls, but I guess that would make sense. Eric says, also nice for playing with recipes. All right. Let's dive in here, all right? Oh, I mean, it smells like a winter warmer. Like it's got that ginger right off the top. Is there ginger in here? Did I say ginger? Yeah, there's ginger. Cinnamon. I'm not getting a lot of cinnamon, but yeah, ginger, nutmeg. It just smells like baking spices, like a wonderful baking spice, like a cookie. It smells like a cookie, probably like a Pfeffernuss cookie. Okay. There's something else that's really familiar to me about it, and I can't. Maybe it's like a pumpkin spicy thing that I'm thinking of. It just smells very like familiar. They called it cozy on the can, didn't they? It's like that. It's just very comforting. Yeah. Like a warm hug. My beer smells like a warm hug. Oh man, I could just sit there and sniff that all day. That's wonderful. I need that in like incense that I can burn around the house this time of year. Brad says it's the anise effect. No, I don't think so. All right, let me see. Let me taste it. Once you taste it, the whole thing changes, and you can't go back to what it was before. Mm. Oh, that's great. I love Christmas beers. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's not like it's not as sharp as some other Christmas beers that I've had this year are. It's warm, well rounding. It's kind of soft. Oh man, ooh, that's a good beer. That is a great representation of a cookie too. Especially that cookie, because when you've got this powdered sugar on the outside of the cookie, when you bite into it, it does have kind of like a sweet thing that just kind of. Julia wants to know if I split the tree. I don't know where you're supposed to split the tree, but here's where I hit. What is our rule for splitting the tree? Or do we go on the Mad Tree logo? Split the A or something? Or the R? I think I did pretty good actually, if that's our rule. it's a little bit higher, but I think I did pretty good. Um, the cookie itself, that sweetness on the outside, um, it kind of softens all of like the kind of some of those sharper baking spice flavors that come through, and this beer kind of not that it's sweet, but it definitely tastes um, just balanced. That is a really balanced beer. That's how I would put it. Man, I still cannot peg what it's not like an individual ingredient that I'm thinking of that it reminds me of. It's like it's a thing, like some kind of um so I don't know if it's a food or almost like a man, I don't know. Definitely like a just like a warm wintry kind of feeling. I I think that we've I don't think I did like a full on like Christmas beer episode of anything this year. But I've definitely done them in the past. I've done a lot of Christmas beer episodes in the past, and I love them. Um, and one of the things that I'm always trying to figure out is what makes a Christmas beer, because this is most definitely a Christmas beer. At the same time, I still think that Urban Artifacts Pickle can definitely be a Christmas beer. I think that there are lots of different things that can become Christmas beers. Stella, maybe you can consider Stella a Christmas beer. I don't know. And I can't peg like an exact definition, but I think that this feeling of like nostalgia or warmth, comfort, definitely kind of plays into it for me, of what makes something Christmassy. Um, I have Christmas thoughts. Marco wants to drink peppermint schnapps, though. Now my glass that I was going to drink my schnapps out of is going to smell like pickles. I have, I have like these jet black Glencairn glasses, so you can't see what's in them for like tasting things. Um, I don't really want to drink out of that. All right, hang on. Let me go. Let me go get some kind of a glass. Oh, there's another pizza. There are shards of broken glass everywhere. All right, I'll be right back. Tequila Panilla. Okay, since I didn't get to go fancy before with my glassware with the pickle, we're gonna go fancy on this one. We're gonna go fancy with my schnapps. Um, Wes says the bottle won't smell of pickles. The whole room smells of pickles right now, you guys. Christine says Branch and Bone makes a mulled beer for their 12 sours of Christmas. I hear they do some kind of warm beer every year. I love that idea of like take the idea of mulled wine and put it into a beer, but go with a sour beer so it kind of mimics some of that wine stuff. I like that. Oh, his little earmuffs fell off. We have him all decked out in his Maker's Mark winter gear. He's got his scarf and his earmuffs on, so he doesn't get cold. This is the fresh, brand new bottle. Heck yeah. The little tab was in the wrong spot. Marco says Wes is 100% correct. I'm telling you, everything smells like pickles right now. I don't care. Christine says so cute. Yeah, we have like a whole bunch of things to dress up our booze with at Christmas time. Maker's Mark, when you used to sign up to be Maker's Mark ambassador, which was just a marketing gimmick, but they would every winter they would mail you a gift, and the gifts were really awesome. Like the one year they mailed a little sweater for your Maker's Mark bottle. It just fits right over a Maker's Mark bottle, and it's just a little Christmas sweater. They sent the scarves, little earmuffs. There's mistletoe. There's like this little thing you put around your bottle, and it puts mistletoe over top of it. What else? There was a deck of cards one year, a puzzle one year, just all kinds of stuff. All right. We're going a little heavy because it's Christmas. Although we do have to get up early tomorrow for another Christmas celebration. If you have not had this, it doesn't even fit in the frame. This is Voltage Peppermint Schnapps, the best peppermint liquor that you can buy, locally produced, obviously by March 1st. It's delicious stuff. Don't miss this time of year. Like I said, it lives all over my house for a very good reason. Christine says, I would die for a beer-sized sweater made by Cincy Shirts. I've seen like koozies and stuff. Christine says, oh my God, it's collab with Doshers. Yes. From what I understand, and I have not actually been there for the production process of this, but from my understanding, they use the actual peppermint that they put in the candy canes in here. And it comes as like this like really thick like syrup that they have to dump in there that is intense. All right. How do you say cheers in Christmas? Ho, ho, ho? I don't know. Oh, God, it smells so good. It really does just smell like you liquefied a bunch of candy canes and put them in a glass. Way better than the Thunder 101 from last week. There's not many other descriptors I can tell you. It smells like candy canes. All right, cheers. My favorite part about it, it warms your soul. Again, Christmas drink. It warms your soul. My favorite part is that it's this really thick, kind of viscous liquor, and so it really does taste like candy canes. It feels like somebody took candy canes, somehow melted them down, and added booze to it. It is phenomenal. I carry it around with me almost all the time this time of year. I have somewhere sitting right over there a couple different flasks for different situations filled with peppermint schnapps. So if you're out somewhere and it's cold out and you're drinking coffee, you put a little nip of that in there, and it all of a sudden makes it Christmas coffee. Maybe you're out and you have a stout, a nice chocolatey stout. You put a little nip of that in there, and now all of a sudden you've got a great peppermint chocolate drink, Christmas in a glass. Maybe you're just outside and you can't find anything to drink at all. You just take a little swig of this, and all of a sudden you feel festive, and it feels like Christmas time. So if you have not tried it, please do. This is not sponsored by Voltage Peppermint Schnapps. However, I feel like Voltage Peppermint Schnapps should sponsor December for me every year on this show, especially because I think that I think from now on I'm just always going to drink this. This will always be sitting in front of me in December, maybe even January. It's definitely like a Christmas tradition in our house. So we have a couple different Christmas traditions. The decorating, I guess, for us is probably the biggest thing. Although we're really bad this year, it's probably partially our fault that we didn't get a white Christmas because we really didn't do a whole lot of decorating. We have the tree up, a couple small decorations, a couple little things outside, and that's about it. Between the chaos of life, the new dog, some personal stuff with some people that's going on. It's been chaotic. So we didn't do as much decorating as we wanted to. But normally it's a big event, especially if the timing works out where right after Thanksgiving we have a little bit of free time to where we can have a day to just decorate. That we do. We spend the entire day decorating. We put up the lights, we put up the tree, we decorate the tree, we pull out all of the knickknacks and paddywhacks and all of that stuff that we have that are Christmas themed. And as soon as we get it all carried up from the basement, put in the middle of the living room, we put on my favorite Christmas album, which is Christmas with the Chipmunks. We crank it up and we start decorating, and we bust out the peppermint schnapps, usually for the first time of the year. It always kind of sits out, and we might kind of nibble at it here and there, but we really start diving in as soon as that record goes on. We break out the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation moose mugs and just start drinking heavily. And it doesn't stop until it probably, I don't know, February. then we start easing up on the schnapps. We usually go through several bottles every winter. Probably more so now that I'm just keeping them stashed around the house. There's like hidden compartments in the walls in all the rooms now. You tap on it and a bottle comes out, and you take your little nip of schnapps and you put it back. It's delicious. The thing that I like about drinking schnapps, and it's not just this peppermint schnapps. I have a lot of other schnapps sitting around. When I say schnapps, I'm talking like German schnapps style kind of stuff. So stuff that's boozier, more like some of it's closer to like brandy, I guess, is the better way to put it. A lot of stuff that's distilled with fruit. We have pine schnapps, which is, I guess, probably neutral grain spirits with pine. It's delicious. Things like that. What I love about them is you can sit there and you can do shots of it, and nobody's going to judge you. But more importantly, you can just sit there and just sip on it all day, and also nobody's going to judge you. Like, it's a different culture kind of associated with drinking them versus a lot of the other stuff that is around, especially in the United States, where we have very strange kind of drinking culture surrounding us. I think that is also part of kind of our Christmas celebration, is this idea that many of these days during the holidays, you wake up early and you make brunch, and you start sipping on something, and you really don't stop all day long. We consume a lot more around Christmas and New Year's, obviously. I think everybody does than any other time of year because of that, but I enjoy that. I'm curious anybody else's Christmas time drinking traditions. We've talked about, Julia and Josh, your tradition with Jägermeister. We've talked about that on the show a few times. I'm curious if anybody else has any kind of Christmas drinking traditions. You'd leave a beer out for Santa. What is it? Oh, it smells so good. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I think I did also kind of figure out some of the lighting for the drink cam. It used to be a lot darker on the front of the drink, and I think I've kind of got that. I still don't love how hectic all of this is here. I don't like you seeing all of this. I might have to figure out a way to move this stuff down here or something. And then maybe, you can see the gnomes in the background. I'm always trying to figure this thing out. The studio space itself, the basement space itself, has evolved slowly over time, and where it's at right now is a very unique spot. Like, I think I've got all of the stuff that's off camera, like the utility stuff of the room, pretty well dialed in, and now we get to kind of poke at stuff. That little strange ringing sound, that's the drunk line. Let's see who it is. Hey, you're on the Weekly Pint. Who is this?
Hey, it's Marco.
Hey,
How you
it's
doing,
Marco.
Buddy?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well, buddy.
How's the holiday celebrating going right now? Are you guys gearing up for Christmas?
Yeah, honestly, gearing up for Christmas, it's going well. Yeah.
Good. Do you have any holiday drinking traditions that you can share?
Yeah. So honestly, what's going on for my house is usually we get all the presents ready, everything's good, and we leave something for Santa,
Yeah.
and we know Santa is you know gonna have something really great at our house.
Do you want to hear my story of what we left out for Santa this year?
Let's go.
This was an interesting experience. This was a first in our household. So we were out super. It's been a really hectic year for us. There's been a lot of shit going on, and Christmas shopping. We finished today. Let me put it that way. I think we finished everything today. We're done now officially. But as of yesterday, we still had probably I'm gonna say 25% of like the really important shopping that still had to happen that needed done. We also had to go watch the Bengals game at my in-laws' house because that's now the tradition. We can't break the tradition. So we had to go up there in the afternoon. We got up there late, and then my wife decided she was going to run as soon as the game was over to go finish up the shopping, and she wanted to go by herself, which is fine. And then she said, and after I get back, we got to sort through stuff, and we got to wrap everything. It's fine. We did not leave my in-laws' house last night until probably a little after midnight, and then obviously did not get home until much after that. By the time everybody was asleep and we were able to, I was able to get to bed. It was very early in the morning, and
But I think you're burying what happened.
I'm getting there. So I came down in the morning, and Santa came and all that stuff, and the kids were happy, and we were opening presents. And afterwards, my wife, she's like, "Hey, did you see? I remembered to leave a beer out for Santa." I'm like, oh, thank God. I forgot to leave anything out for him. I didn't leave the cookies, none of that stuff. She's like, yeah, I left a beer out for Santa. But I left him a Mexican lager this year. I found it in the fridge, and it seemed like something he would really like. And I'll be damned if he didn't drink the whole thing this year. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, man. And I realized that not only did I not get to choose what was left out for Santa, I did not get to make sure that Santa got to enjoy it properly. If you get where I'm headed with that, it's first time ever.
No, for obviously, craft and everything that you were going for a
there's usually like that there's usually that like enjoyment of at the end of the night everything is done, and then we'll say you get to sit down. There's not kids that listen to this, but whatever. Yeah, you get to sit down and you put out your beer for Santa. And like that act of like putting out that beer is like that last thing for the night, and just kind of feet up and like, yeah, we did it. It didn't happen this year. It was more of like that like we were so like engulfed in chaos that I went to bed. I never had that last kind of final moment before everything was pretty much over with. So it was missed out on some of that tradition, I guess.
Yeah, and I just I agree, and I hate this, Noom. I hate this. I just I am going to agree, and I'm gonna just back out. I'm just gonna back out and say I I love you, man. And with all this stuff and everything, like uh, I'm just gonna,
Well, cheers to you. I'm
yeah,
raising my
I'm just
fancy
gonna,
glass of
I'm,
schnapps. Cheers to you.
you know, and the thing is, like, oh my God, like, with the shots, I mean,
mm, it's so
you
good.
got it. It's so good. It's so good, man. With the schnapps, it's so good, and then with everything else, I'm gonna just, I'm done. But uh, forever, the schnapps is so good. Like
It's amazing. Well,
it's so good. Like
I'm a, I'm a,
I have I have literally bought four bottles this year, period. And but anyway,
well,
go ahead. Let's go.
find your moment over the next couple days to put your feet up, pour yourself something delicious, and kind of reflect on that transition from pre-Christmas to after Christmas, because I think the New Year is one thing and that's easy to kind of do and everybody does that, but Christmas is a little different because it's that season where you're giving gifts to everybody and you're trying to be a little more selfless and trying to give, and I think that to me it's different than New Year's. if you that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So try to find that time for you. And
wonderful, wonderful Noom. Thank you. You're wonderful. Sorry, I was not the best advocate, but love you.
Oh, you were fine.
I
We'll
and love you.
we'll talk to you and we'll see
Love
you
you,
soon.
buddy. And yeah, for sure. Love you. Talk to you soon, and we'll anyway.
We'll have a drink in person. Cheers, buddy.
Oh, for sure. Cheers.
Cheers. Marco from Truth Beer Consequences. I think the idea of, for me, the idea of trying to just find that thing that kind of, and I said it's different than New Year's, but there are a lot of parallels to New Year's for me. Like, we've got these like very distinct like traditions that we do every single year, and like for building up to New Year's Eve is one thing, but like the very first thing that we do, and I will have a show next week too, so like we'll probably talk a little bit about this again, but like the very first thing, as soon as it's midnight and we get done drinking our champagne and everybody's like, oh well, yep, time for bed, and they all just kind of start going to bed. I open up another drink, grab myself a cigar, and I go and I sit outside, which is not always pleasant, not always enjoyable, because sometimes it's really freaking cold. And I sit there and I smoke my cigar, I have a drink, and I spend a lot of time just in my own head, kind of reflecting on me and myself, and like what I did good, what I did horrible, how I want to change, what I want to improve, what I want to keep doing, all of that stuff. This very like self-reflective thing. And Christmas, to me, for me, is the complete opposite of that. It's a holiday where I spend a lot of time thinking about other people. I try to figure out, and I guess there is some kind of self-reflection in this, but things that I can do to be better for the people around me. How I can be, a better husband, a better dad, a better friend, a better family member, like all of these things that when you're in the middle of the chaos of all of this stuff, and God knows the last, especially these last few weeks leading up to the holiday, are insane. It's the things that are going on and that you're trying to keep sorted in your head. And it's crazy, and it's easy to kind of lose track of some of the stuff that is really kind of important to you. And so when I hit these evenings at Christmas time, that's what I want to be doing. Is I want to be sitting down, nothing else around me. Open up a drink. We'll say a cigar again. That sounds great. Weather's been fine. I could sit in the garage and have a cigar tonight, and that would be delicious. But I want to be reflecting in the same way that I do on New Year's, and I just haven't been able to this year. And I think that that's kind of, I don't know, kind of throw me for a loop. I guess it's kind of got me, kind of all discombobulated, for lack of a better way to put it. So. That's where I'm at this year. It's I make the joke a lot that it's just a lot of chaos, and that's definitely where we are right now. Just a lot of chaos. Hopefully, we can flip the script on that here, going into the next couple months. And I think I've got a little bit of it figured out, but certainly not all of it. There's a lot of pieces of it that you just don't have control over, and schnapps. It's so good. Julia says 2025 will be great. It will. Every year, for me, every year always seems to be better than the one before it. There's definitely highs and lows with anything, but as long as you keep moving forward and just improving on things, it's not hard to do. Just, I think it's really important for me. Maybe we'll turn next week into the more reflective show, but it seems to be where this one is headed right now. It seems to me that the more I'm conscious about the things that I am falling short on, the easier it is for me to kind of not do it again in the future. Even if I'm not like, so all right, I did things this way this year and I didn't like this, so here's exactly what I have to do to not do that next year. It's not like that. I mean, there is some of that, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's just if you can identify it and really understand it, it just tends to not happen, if that makes sense. Just being aware of it and kind of pointing it out to yourself and really kind of getting it just makes it not happen. And I don't really know the science behind that, but it seems to be the way it works for me. So that's why I do a lot of self-reflection and a lot of reflection in general. All right, let's drink some more Pfeffernuss, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. It's been a weird couple months. I know that there's been a lot of we talked about on the show, but there's a lot of bars closing, a lot of restaurants closing, a lot of places closing, and it's easy to kind of take that and translate it into some kind of doom and gloom as we head into the new year. And I think it's really important to not do that. I mean, yes, obviously support the places you love. Even deeper than that, just try every dollar you spend, try to make it mean something. I try to emphasize that with people. Just try to make every dollar mean something. But in a bigger sense, just try to stay positive, as the world sometimes around us may not be, and it will definitely have lots of moments where it is not positive. All right. With that, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will be back next week. I'm assuming normal time. Let me look at the calendar just to make sure. But yes, next week is the 30th, so we are not. I don't foresee any reason that it won't be normal time. If it's not, I will let you know. But it should be normal time next week. We'll be hanging out. Maybe we'll talk about New Year's Eve and how you probably should celebrate New Year's Eve. I'll explain to you my kind of my celebration that we do on New Year's Eve, because it is, like I said, very at this point very regimented. We do the same thing every year, down to the same, drink almost the exact same things every year, and it's become kind of a fun celebration within itself. So yeah, maybe that's what we'll talk about, unless there's some good news that we should talk about, which there might be. I know that there's some fun stuff that I want to talk about that maybe I'll be able to by then. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out. We will be back. I appreciate all of you for the support that you give to not just me from a personal level, but that you give to this channel and the website and everything. Wes says, blacking out a New Year's Eve tradition. I don't think anybody's ever blacked out on our New Year's, but we definitely get a little silly. I like I said, I appreciate you guys. I promise there are some really, really cool stuff in the works, especially for me on the swag side of things. I'm trying to use 2025 as kind of an excuse for myself to get a little more creative on some of the stuff that we're releasing as far as swag. So, stickers, we're going to see a lot of stickers, a lot of pins, a lot of hats. We'll see T-shirts. I don't love T-shirts, but we'll see them. Some things like that, and then some other surprise kind of some surprise things throughout the year that, as they come, are unique products that I will probably only do once or twice and then kind of never again. So stay tuned for that. Maybe even some really, really cool stuff if some of the people that I'm talking to, if that all kind of works out. So stay tuned for that. In fact, I'll put it out there. I should probably start putting this out every single week. As we've talked about it, so it's not like I'm not giving anything away. As far as some of those special one-off products, if anybody knows any local metal workers that are familiar with food safe metals, and they can get in touch with me, please have them reach out or send me some contact info. We'll put it that way. If you know exactly what I'm trying to make and what I've been trying to figure out a way to do for a long time, and I'm going to figure it out. I promise you I'm going to figure it out. The goal is to have it by Bachfest next year. That's the goal, but we'll see. Thank you guys. I appreciate you for hanging out. I love this show. It's so much fun. Cheers, everybody. See you next week. It is not a branding iron. However, I will say, for the very first person that has a Gnarly Gnome brand or a tattoo, there is a reward of some kind. I don't really know what it is, but there is a reward. So get your tattoo, get your brand, show it to me, and get something cool. I'll make special merch for that.